Good afternoon, everyone. What a privilege to welcome you into today's session. Um, Today's session is really about the importance of mother language instruction in South African schools. And we are happy to have Ms. Africa Gola with us and Yandiswa Kakaza. Both ladies are well versed in their fields, and I want to invite those of you who are on Twitter to just share with everyone at School Leadership SA or hashtag School Leadership. To start off our afternoon together, I'm going to invite you to join us in the breakout room. And in the breakout room, this is the question that we would like you to grapple with. Now, many people have come to this afternoon's conversation with various ideas, insights, and particularly for personal experiences. And we would love you in those small groups of 3 or more to join into the conversation and be part of just sharing with those around you what your thoughts are. And the opening question, why did you turn up? And what would be the most valuable use of your time, our time together? We just had a breakout room conversation, and I would like to invite you just to share why is it important for you to be part of this afternoon's conversation. And I know some of you have got some very important reasons. And if you want to speak, please unmute yourself and then just go ahead to speak, or use the reactions button to raise your hand if you want to speak.
Yes, good afternoon, colleagues. It's such a great pleasure to have this session, always exciting. We've just come from another meeting, but I couldn't really fail to attend this session. Look, as I always indicate that I'm actually retired. I come through education throughout the various ranks. But at the moment, I'm now retired and just continuing to be an interested stakeholder in education. So matters of education are crucial for me. And I was saying to my colleague in the breakaway room that in the 40 years old that I've served in education since 1994, post 1994, the issue of mother tongue has always been a subject of discussion. But we don't seem to be mastering it. We don't seem to be giving, especially the African languages, to be specific, the space that they deserve. If it is allowed in a particular school, it is a third language, just for communication purposes. It doesn't form part of the curriculum. So I'm saying the status of the African languages continue to be trampled upon. And that is why even at universities, students don't want to major in any of the African languages, because right from the foundation, it has been made a non-important subject. You even hear learners saying, why must I do isiZulu, isiNdebele, all these African languages when I am not going to attend any interview using that? So I'm saying this argument is not exhausted. It continues to be a concern. So I'm participating because I want to know what is the future of African languages, especially in the foundation phase, because it is basic to learning. It allows the learner to understand himself, to contextualize himself, especially in a home environment where the African language is being utilized. But it looks like our children now are living two types of language backgrounds. At home, if it's a township learner, it is Zulu, Sesotho, and all the African languages you can think of. That child, when he wakes up to go to school in the morning, it is now.
Sorry, Maureen, you muted yourself. You want to unmute again and just complete your comment?
Yeah, I just want to say, I just want to know how far this discussion will take us, because it's important that we sort of accentuate the African languages into the curriculum right from the
Thank you.
foundation phase. Thank you.
Maureen, thank you so much for that opening comment. Anyone else?
I'm Adriana. Yes, my mother tongue is Afrikaans, so bear with me. I would just want to say hi to everyone. I want to go the other route, as I want to know what are the benefits for a child with the mother tongue. What are the benefits for a child that's mother tongue is English, but he is in Afrikaans school? Isn't there, or aren't there also benefits for that? Because I'm a teacher, but I'm also a mother with a child at my school with an Afrikaans medium, but his mother tongue is English, and I have isiXhosa learners, and they explored. They are the better learners in the class. So why is there such a emphasis on mother tongue when I see that there are also benefits for children with multiple languages in the classroom? And the other point is, I understand that mother tongue is important because I can see that it is a struggle for the learners to comprehend the language, say Afrikaans, and they are isiXhosa speaking. But when they get the grip of the language, they explore, and I see that they perform even better than the learners that's mother tongue is Afrikaans. So I would like you to help me with that questions that I have.
Wow, Adriana, baie dankie. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. I've noted your question, and I will certainly pose your question during the Q&A session. And hope that even you, if I miss it, you remind me. Puhiswa, iPhone, go ahead and speak. Your hand is up.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Buyiswa. I am actually Professor Buyiswa Mini. Can you hear me?
Please go ahead, Professor.
Okay. I used to work at the University of Fort Hare, and I am in the field of isiXhosa and language and a host of other things. My interest in this afternoon's discussion lies in the fact that I have for a long time now realized that an education for the majority of let me just confine myself to isiXhosa, but by extension, I refer to speakers of all other African languages, and I will include Africans in that. If I'm relevant to that, I'm not so conversant with what happens among Afrikaans learners, but I do know that millions of isiXhosa speaking learners and students need their mother tongue to be part of the learning and teaching language. It's at school, and not only from the point of view of my observation, but also from I read three research papers, which one of them was based at the University of Fort Hare, another one was based at Rose University. Those two papers were papers that were inquiring among isiXhosa speaking students in both universities, Rose and Fort Hare. They were inquiring among isiXhosa speaking students about their view about the new language in education policy, which promotes bilingual education. Whilst they didn't understand the concept of bilingual education because it has never been introduced to African people in this country, but the needs that a lot of them expressed was that they would be happy if isiXhosa would be included even at university. Some of them even said that in the findings in those papers, they even said that more Xhosa speaking students can have access to university education if their mother tongue is involved, because everything is difficult. Not all of them are English conversant. Even those that are at university said that they would be happy if, at least in tutorials, they could be taught in isiXhosa. And then recently, on the 25th of May, we had a discussion on Africa Day. We had a discussion at Rhodes University that was based on Rhodes University, where some of the questions were like, there was a question that said, I am a university student. I want to know if it is possible, if this forum can, I'm not sure if I'm putting it in the right way in which that person said, but it was in the sense that they, as university students today in 2021, would love it if some of even the assessment at university, at least the assessments that are being done during the year, within the year, are done also in isiXhosa so that they can understand and do better. And so I am saying that there is a need for isiXhosa speaking students, learners from primary school right up to grade 12, right up to beyond that. There's a need for their mother tongue to be involved in education. And I emphasize that it must not be called, sorry, it must not be called mother tongue education. It must be called bilingual education, because we also want them to learn English and become conversant with English as well. So bilingual education is the thing that brought me here.
Boiswa, thank you so much. And I'm going to give Mojaki a minute just to give his comment as well. Why is it important? Mojaki?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My interest here is to basically come and learn. I'm a practitioner specifically for focusing on teaching reading, particularly in the foundation phase, but focusing more on English. I'm fascinated by the debates around mother tongue instruction, having interacted with officials like in Botswana, where by and large, the language spoken there is Setswana, and yet you find similar patterns in terms of early childhood reading performance. They're just as bad as we are. The same goes with Lesotho. The performance in terms of learners being able to read at age 10 is just as bad as we are in the country. So I'm just here to sort of understand the debates around the mother tongue instruction. And also, I'll be glad to hear if there's anybody who has come across a country, post-colonial African country, that has been able to successfully introduce mother tongue instruction, because I've been looking around for such a thing and I'm unable to find it, but I guess through this forum, I'll be able to learn a lot. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mojaki. Please lower your hand. Wow, what an interesting and exciting segue into today's conversation.